you know what I'm really looking for? Do you know what I'm most glad about that
Go
list?
on.
You can't fucking shoehorn Bruno into it because he don't play for England.
Yes, people, we are back again for part 2 of our England sort of squad review. Taking a bit of a deeper look into some players that might have outside shots who've had good seasons, and if they have a good second half of the season, have a good chance of going to the England squad, and some players that are already in the England squad that potentially need shifting. If you missed the last part, we were looking at the defenders and the goalkeepers. And so today we will be looking at the midfielders and forwards, which, as I'm sure you guys are already pretty
The
much
real
aware
the
of,
real gunmen
the
right there.
juicy one. It's a juicy one because boy, we've had some real
Yeah.
star players this season come out of the woodwork. But Ishmael, before we jump into that, we had to
Yeah,
sort of cut
yeah.
off the last one quite quickly. So, how about you just wrap up your views on the defence and the goalkeeping situation at England, especially for those that haven't watched it? Give us a quick 2 minute overview. Go on, maybe shorter, but we'll see.
2 minutes. 2 minutes. All right.
Wrap it up.
Um, Obviously in goal, been much talked about. I mean, Gareth Southgate's come out and said that for the foreseeable, Jordan Pickford is his number one. There's not really too much that can happen in the way of that.
Mm,
Obviously, we both agree that that shouldn't really be the case.
not at all. Not at all.
Obviously, you got Pope and Henderson, who are both better keepers. Pope's played more games, but
It's
for
got one of
me,
those two for me.
as we said before, anyone but Pickford, flipping pagan. But moving on to defense, yeah, well, obviously we spoke a lot about the system we're going to be playing. We both want again four at the back, but we know Gareth's going to go for a 3 or 5. Um, we kind of agreed that the three in the middle should be Maguire, Mings, and John Stones. He's
Oh yeah,
had a bit of
yeah.
a renaissance. Or did we agree on that? I don't know. Have I
Kind of.
spoke? Have I
I
spoke
think
out
that's
of
what we are
turn?
gonna. I think
Oh
that's what
no
we're
no
gonna
no
go
no.
for.
Yeah,
But
shit. Yeah, shit.
I quite like the
You
idea
want
of
my man. You want Shaw. Yeah, yeah.
or at least one. I think if we're gonna go two centre backs, we go Maguire and Stones. Okay, cool. But I would love to see either a
Perhaps
Kyle
no pace
Walker
though.
on the
No pace.
right centre back position, or a Luke Shaw left centre back. That's the only way I like three at the back. Otherwise, I'd rather go flat back four. And in that situation, I'd probably go Wan-Bissaka, Shaw, just because I know that they're solid defensively. Obviously, got the United bias too. It probably has some part to play, but I think that this season they've been pretty good.
And said probably,
And
but
then Maguire and then Maguire and Stones centre backs. But yeah, that's how I play it out. I would love it if there was a bit of pace next to Maguire or Stones. But that's probably why we're going to end up playing five at the back. But yeah, that's the wrap up. I think fullbacks in those positions, I would love Justin to get into the squad just because of his versatility. Luke Shaw, as I mentioned, and Aaron Wan-Bissaka as well have been outside the squad. But I see Trippier, Trent, all of the likely sort
yeah,
of
same
yeah, I
man.
don't see much change going on there. Maybe Luke Shaw in there, but or James Justin, but I can't see. I just feel bad for Wan-Bissaka because he's too good not to be representing his country internationally.
He's gonna have to go
That's just
Congo, isn't it? He's gonna have to go represent Congo.
DRC.
Sounds
Yeah,
looking,
but
yeah.
yeah, that's as
I
long as
mean,
it's national,
we
right, Ishmael?
spoke. You know me, mate. You know me. I actually have.
In and out job.
I can't. What I was gonna say was, well, you dickhead. What I was gonna say was that Southgate spoke a good game before he came in about
Mm.
just picking players, picking man on form, but he's obviously reverted to type. Man's got his favourites. Um, but it is what it is, man. It is what it
Who
is.
are his favourites?
Well, it's got to be flipping Pickford, isn't it? Like
Mm-hmm.
telling us that my man is number one, no matter what. Like that's not really the right message to be sending out. Especially when your one. If your one is flipping prime Manuel Neuer, then cool. Like you put your eggs in that basket.
Yeah,
He's putting his eggs in a basket that's got a
yeah.
short handle.
Let's not
Like yeah.
talk.
But anyway,
Literally, short
anyway.
spout, short handle,
This
everything.
this guy actually
Goalkeeper.
makes me mad. This actually like
Yeah, let's not talk about him
obviously,
no more, man. Come on,
yeah,
let's just
yeah.
move on.
Let's move on. Let's move on. Midfields then. Bruv.
What would you do? Say, like, what's your preferred midfield in terms of formations, and then what do you think Southgate's going to play?
Well, I'm glad you said that because I
They're
feel
two
like
different things, I'm
a
sure.
recurring theme. Yeah, a recurring theme throughout this whole video, any video we do on Southgate is that we're gonna have to caveat every little thing we say by saying what I would do is one thing, and what Southgate
Mm.
would do is pretty
It's
much the opposite.
another thing
But
entirely. Yeah.
yeah. So I know my man's gonna play two holding midfielders, um, with 5 defenders behind, like the fucking coward that he is.
If we
But
do that, who
so
would you put? Who would you put there? To if
they're
Southgate
two. If
has
he's
to play
going
that,
two,
we have to play that. We have to play two deep midfielders. Who are those two deep midfielders?
I'll start by saying who I definitely do not want to see in there at all. No, no
Speaking of
chance,
H and Hendon and Ari Winks,
bruv. This guy, man.
get him out.
Nah.
Who's he
Nah.
like? Who's he shagged? Who's he paid
Just
to
nah.
get?
He's got their nudes in it. He's got the good Gareth Southgate nudes. But yeah, this guy again, like we were saying with Eric Dyer, like it's not even like a biased thing because Spurs fans will say as well, nah, he ain't it. He ain't it.
Mm.
But yeah, for me, it's got to be Declan Rice and the skipper, man, my skipper, Hendo.
Mm.
If you're going to play
Definitely
two
more
holding
forwards.
midfielders in there,
Clarify that one.
he's your vice skipper for England. Let's just
He ain't my
clarify
vice
that
skipper.
one.
He's
You support
a good
England. If
player.
you support England, then that's bro.
You'll
He's
never
been
catch
doing.
me ever saying he's my
He's a
vice
better
skipper.
centre back. He's a better centre back than Harry Maguire. Let's like comments.
That's not
Yeah,
true. That's not true.
comments. Hit me
It's not
up.
true.
Yeah,
No,
hit me up in the
you're
comments.
not.
He's a better.
That's an outrageous
Bruv,
statement to make. Bruv.
that
Have you seen
agenda will
Henderson
run.
in the
He's
air,
a
bruv? He can't leap off the ground. Like he
my
can
man's
play
6
centre
foot.
back
Would you?
he can play centre back in a team where they have most of the possession. That's a different thing to defending. He's just playing
Listen,
deeper. He's playing the same position but deeper. It's not.
listen.
He can't. Like,
He's reading the
he's
game.
not a
His
centre
reading of the
back.
game. Nah, his reading of the.
Where are
I
you in
didn't
the
think this would
league,
be.
bruv? Look where Henderson is, bruv.
Why are we
Come on, he's
doing?
not-
Why
he's
are we
not
doing
making
this?
any-
Why are we doing? I
Why are
swear
you
to
trying to
God.
say that Henderson's a better
This is
centre
meant to be
back than Maguire
respite. It's
then?
meant to be
That's
respite from
That's
club
nonsense,
football.
bro. You're
We're
fourth
talking
in the
about.
league. You just got smacked by Man City, and you're talking about Jordan Henderson's a better centre back than Maguire. Come off it, bruv.
I feel like that's facts. That's facts.
The
That's
wrong
facts.
time to be.
That's not.
Even if you think there's some judgment, there's some truth in it. It's the wrong time to be saying this stuff. You shouldn't be bringing his name into any
I
conversation.
didn't think that would rattle you. I didn't think that would rattle you so much. Let's move
It's
on.
just
Let's move on.
nonsense,
Let's
though.
move
Come on,
on.
man.
Let's move on. Let's
Come
move
on.
on.
Henderson
Comments.
centre
Let us
back.
know.
Go on.
Let us know in
Go
the
on, play
comments. Let us know.
Would you play Henderson centre back for England, or would he get
I'd
found
rather
out?
play him there. I'd rather play man
Bruv,
there than Harry
You
Maguire.
play a man like
Pace,
Burnley and Brighton, and
pace,
he's getting found
pace,
out. He's playing
pace.
Burnley
He's
and
quicker than
Brighton and getting
Maguire as
found
well.
out.
Let's move on.
It's
Let's
saying
move on.
much,
Let's
bro.
move
It's
on.
not
Let's
saying
move
much
on. Let's
at
move
all.
on.
He's
Let's
not a
move
better
on.
centre back, though. He can't tackle. He's not a
Would you?
tackler. In the air, he's dead. You got to be, mate. Play
He's
centre
not
back
dead in
for
it. You're
England
talking like
and
my
play-
man Sean Wright
playing
Phillips.
centre
Is he
back-
Sean Wright? He's not Sean Wright Phillips. Well, he's saying he's not dead in the air.
Yeah,
You see, he's one headed, man.
He's under 6 foot, isn't he? Is he even 6 foot?
6 foot. He's 6 foot. We
Touch, he's begging it in his boots, maybe
Bruv.
with his studs on.
bun you, man. But
Henderson, Rice in the midfield.
Henderson Rice in the midfield. It is what it is, isn't it? Like, I'm doing the best of a bad situation. What I've seen in Rice this season is his passing ability, passing forwards. He has shown that he can break the lines with his passing ability, so that's good.
Yeah, definitely.
Henderson, long range passing, he's got that in his locker as well. So that midfield is kind of patterned up, but it's just not the right system. We've seen Eric Dyer used there in qualifiers. We've seen flipping Calvin Phillips as well. What are you saying? What are you going to go for?
Yeah, I was
Because
just gonna
Phillips
ask,
Phillips kind of dropped off a little bit.
Yeah, he's had a bit of a bad time with injuries. I think I saw him he was injured in their game. I think who are they playing on Monday? Leeds.
Palace.
Yeah, in that game I saw him. He was down. He's had a bad time with injuries basically of late. But yeah, I was just trying to think of who are the other solutions in midfield apart from, like, if you're not going to play Henderson and Rice there, and what we either accept is either going to be a double pivot and for a 4 at the back, or a double pivot again with a 5 at the back.
Yeah.
For me, who else have we got that can play in midfield? It's a tricky one. It's a real problem area. This is kind of what's motivated my calls for Trent to move into midfield, because as we've already sort of said in the past show, right wing back, I think we've got solutions, we've got options. Can we move Trent into midfield? I don't know. Has Southgate confident enough to be doing that or bold enough? Definitely
The
not.
Trent
So
in mid,
I'm
he's
not holding
definitely
my
not bold.
breath.
He's definitely not bold
Bro.
enough.
He's too scared to be playing more. He's still playing five at the back. With the attack
He,
we
he
have and playing two sitting midfielders. So
bruv.
he's definitely not got the cojones,
Trent
if I
ain't
say
playing
that, to be
midfield.
doing that.
Trent ain't playing midfield.
Nah, but that's what I would like though. I would like a bit more of a
Yeah,
creative
yeah.
passer in midfield. Henderson can do it. Rice can do it. But yeah, I'm not sure. But I think I'm happy with just sticking those two in there, to be honest. And then
If
focusing on the forwards because that's where it's exciting.
you see how you seem like you're not really convinced like that about Henderson and Rice. If it was a 4-2-3-1, which or 4-3-3, that'd be you. I think I can speak for you by saying you'd be more cool with that than
As soon as you put a
them two
Grealish in there,
playing.
yeah.
Yeah. Stick. Well, we'll get. Should we fuck it? Should we do? Let's do up Jack Grealish Appreciation Society because this guy is flipping.
Different mustard, isn't he?
This season, obviously, there's a couple other players who I think are better than him, but this season, he is the best player in the league for me.
I don't agree.
I know.
I don't agree with this. I don't agree with this. But I'm not taking any flowers away from Jack
Listen,
Grealish. I think it's an easy
yeah,
thing
yeah.
to say for a Liverpool fan whose team have been dead to not give credit to Bruno
Let's go.
Fernandes.
Why we did?
Let's not give credit to Harry Kane, or let's not give credit to Son. Let's give
No.
credit to an Aston Villa player.
Bro, what you?
He's
No,
not the
no,
best
no,
player
no,
in the
no,
league.
bruv,
I know. I've
bruv,
been seeing it a lot on
this
Twitter.
season,
It
this
might
season,
validate
this
your
season,
point. He's not the best player in the league.
don't do that. Don't do that. Stop
He's
that.
a good player, man.
This,
He's up there.
bruv,
He's up there.
this
but I don't think he's the
season,
best.
this.
There have been other players who had outstanding seasons.
Should we? Can I break it? Can I break it down for you a little bit?
Yeah, go on.
This season, yeah. When you watch, I don't know how many times you've watched Villa play, but everything goes through this guy. Like he is putting the team on. Obviously, I don't want to take away props from Ollie Watkins and Ross Barkley, John McGinn. Like they've got some ballers in there, but he puts Villa on his back and he says, "Cool, today we are gonna play ball." And he's the most influential player. Obviously, Bruno's in the conversation, but
it's just look, when you talk about Jack Grealish and his contribution to Aston Villa and compare it to Bruno Fernandes, there's a slight comparison, but the levels are different.
Nah.
If you're talking about putting a team on their back, bro, it's not any player better.
Can I ask you a question? Let me ask you something. If Bruno's playing in Aston Villa's team, he ain't on shit. He is not doing nothing. I swear to God. I swear to God. And if you put Grealish, put my man in Man United's team,
you know that's wrong,
nah, bro, what? You think
you're telling me Bruno wouldn't do anything in that Aston Villa team?
Villa, nah, bro. I can't actually tell if you're being serious or not. You're zoning, man. Bruno Fernandes in Aston Villa in
Where's
Aston
your
Villa.
logic here? So what he doesn't play well for he doesn't turn it on against the shitter teams, like he's not good of an underdog mentality. What? How can you
Bruno's sick, yeah. Bruno's numbers are wavy. But
this agenda's strong, bro. Do you know who definitely isn't the best player?
Listen.
Do you know who definitely isn't the best player? Thiago.
What?
That's definite. It's not 7 out of 10.
Bro, we're talking English. First of all, we're talking England.
But if you're gonna try and peddle an agenda, I'm getting Marwin in there as well.
Did I mention Bruno? Bruno, you brought man to the conversation.
Yeah, I just know it's easy.
He's Portuguese, yeah. He ain't English. So I'm saying Jack Grealish this season, best player in the league. You can't really chat to me. You can't really chat to me. I just told you. If you want numbers, he's got 10 assists, 7 goals. What are you saying?
Look, he's not touching Bruno. He's different.
Bruno might have better numbers, yeah. Grealish don't even
Harry Kane, Son.
Grealish is not on pens for starters. So let's take out Bruno's penalties off the situation. If we're comparing a man to another man and half his goals are pens, and obviously his stats. You said his stats are going to look better.
Half his goals aren't pens.
A good proportion of
pens than Bruno Fernandes this season now.
Brother, we're not. You're just dragging more man into the conversation.
I said
Bruno. I said Grealish for stars. I said Grealish. You want to talk about Bruno? Cool. Say nothing. Then you want to talk about stats.
For me.
Then you want to talk about stats. Cool. All right. Grealish's stats stand up against Bruno's stats. That's
where Aston Villa in
the league? You can't debate that. Look at the man he's playing with. Bruno's playing with Pogba, Cavani.
He's got a good team around him, Grealish.
Nah. I don't buy it.
Bro, I just don't. There's nothing to buy it. You're saying that Jack Grealish has been the best player in the league so far. I say he's up there, but he's not the best player. I can name 3 or 4 players who've been better than him this season. And that's not saying he's not
3 or 4. God, I beg you.
Harry
Kane.
Kane.
Name 3 or 4.
Harry Kane. Bruno Fernandes, Harry Kane's numbers are mental. Bruno Fernandes is
Numbers
numbers
are
again
Kane's numbers are
over the
mad.
past
Kane's
12
numbers are mad.
months. No,
Kane's numbers are mad.
nobody's. I think nobody's been
I'm
better
still saying
than Bruno
Grealish, man.
Fernandes.
Grealish for
Yeah,
me.
but what I'm trying to say is, yeah, you can say Jack Grealish, but I'm saying the reason you're saying that is because your
Look
team
at the
is dead. You
team.
have
Look
no
at the team.
solutions within your
Look at the
team.
team he's
So
playing
that's
in.
why you're bringing up. No, it's easy for opposing fans to say Jack Grealish. It's easy. It's easy. That's what it is. Anyway, what Jack Grealish can do for the England team? Let's bring it back. We went on a bit of a tangent there. Go on. What do you think Jack Grealish brings to this England team?
Everything, like I said, he's putting his team on his back this season, running with it, dragging them out of situations, carrying the ball, being influential, drawing fouls. Like, if you watch when you watch Villa play, everything's going through this guy. Like, he's been top tier this season, sure. top tier. And personality as well, man. He's got the armband. He's got the low socks. Like, he's saying he's not letting the pressure get to him, which you can lay that criticism at some players. But he's for me, he's the real deal. He's the real deal.
Do you think is there much comparison to be made between him and his other Midlands counterpart, James Maddison, sorry?
Yeah, there is. Maddison is, again, like, obviously numbers aren't everything, but this season we've spoken about the interview before where he references him being motivated to pull up more numbers, and he's done that. He's another one where this season, when you see Leicester score, you kind of know that he's been involved in it somehow, and he's been probably the best player this season with Vardy, Tielemans, and that man. Barnes. He's been up there. Barnes, yeah. We'll chat about this guy.
Do you think does he have to be on the plane,
Maddison? Yeah, 100%. Starting, I don't know, but having my man off the bench, like, that's not a bad place to be in at all.
How many creative players? How many creative midfielders would you take? So if we're taking Maddison, we're taking Grealish. We've got Foden already.
Yeah, Foden. He's played a lot of his football. This is another thing as well, where Gareth flipping dickhead gate. He's coming out and saying that he sees Grealish as a left forward, which cool. That's where he's been playing for Villa this season. But I feel like he's kind of setting him up to fail because he knows he's up against Rashford and Sterling, who are kind of like one of the others. Pretty much a shoo-in. It's pretty much a shoo-in to start. Yeah.
He'll only realise that Jack Grealish can play in midfield when he has to at a major tournament, and
we'll be on the verge of going out. Yeah, that was a perfect example. Like, we'll see when we were down to Croatia in the World Cup, with like 10 minutes to go. That's when he'll be like, "Oh, bro, let me play my man number 10 and see what he does, and bring on Rashford."
Let's take off a centre back and drop Jack Grealish into midfield. Like, do you know what I mean? It's just like these decisions won't get made. I don't think, but
you can't trust it. You can't trust this guy to come good. But
because one thing that I was just going to say, that he does have an unenviable task in the sense that there are a lot of players. We'll dig into the forwards in a sec, like the wide players and strikers.
Yeah.
But we're talking James Maddison, Foden, and Grealish. And not like, to be fair, to be honest, I feel like all three should probably start. They deserve to start after the seasons they've had, but there's only going to be one spot for them. And for me, I think Jack Grealish and Phil Foden are just a bit ahead of James Maddison, despite the unbelievable numbers he's been putting in this season. What are your thoughts there? Are we going to take all three, do you think?
Yeah, because especially if he's looking at it through Southgate's eyes, one of them, at least two of them, he sees as forwards as well. So I'm taking all three, man. You can't tell me there's a world where I can't take Foden, Maddison, and Grealish, but I can take Dyer, Winks, and some other fucking sideways, man. So yeah, I'm taking all three. For me, you just pick your best players, especially when it's like the front six positions. You take your best players and you just make it work when you get there. You don't try and overthink things too much beforehand. I've got to take two specialist right wingers. No. Take your biggest guns to the gunfight, and you just go and you fire, man.
So Ishmael, did you see that we compiled we did a bit of homework before we did this show, but
that's per mate.
We were just listing off forwards who have either played for England in
Oh
the
my
past 12
days.
months or
Yeah.
have a shout of going to the Euros. Just list off those players it felt like we came up with at least like 15 players who
But I'm
could
so
who could go.
mad. Let me see if I can get this up because I don't want to miss anyone out. Always prepared as ever. Right, so there's a guy we haven't even mentioned yet, but he's having a good season. He splits opinion quite a lot, but Mason Mount, he could go as one of the front
He
six
has to go.
positions.
He has to go.
He's not really my favorite player in the world, but like he does show an intelligence on the pitch, which I do like, and he is shown that he can play in a lot of different systems. He's an intelligent footballer, pops the ball up quickly, doesn't waste too much time on the ball. So he's kind of got to go as well. That's another name to throw into the hat. So
I agree. I think he has to.
listen, man, it's going to be peak for a lot of decent players. Obviously, we will unfortunately probably get injuries again. Like Kane's ankles seem to be made out of pink wafers. So
Mason Mount.
We haven't even talked about him yet.
Mason Mount's been in the squad though, so I feel like he's not like an outside shout of going to the Euros. He's on the plane for me.
Let me just run through all the options, and then we'll go from there. So we got Mount, Maddison, Foden, Eze, another great young prospect, having a good season at Palace. Everyone's spoken about him yet. Sancho, Greenwood, who's kind of had a stop and start season, but again, but what more can we say about him? Super talent. Hudson-Odoi as well. It seems resurgent under the new manager. He's doing bits at right wing back. Sterling, Rashford, Grealish, Harvey Barnes. Again, only touched on him briefly. Bruv. And then the centre forwards, Kane, DCL, Ings, Bamford. Don't know how many goals the man have got.
Half that team probably will go to the Euros. Like half of them, I think it was almost like 12, 13 players there.
Yeah.
I mean, not even counting Saka, who I think will probably go as a left wing.
Right, I didn't even mention. Yeah, but yeah, you were saying yesterday that you kind of feel like if Saka's going to get a sniff, it's going to have to be at left wing back. But for me, that's a plus. We've got players who are tactically versatile. Like, do you remember back in the day where it was 4-4-2 or bust, and we were playing Steven Gerrard or Paul Scholes out wide because we couldn't think, let's just play free midfield. Like, we've got options, and that's one. If there's one thing I'll give this guy credit for, apart from just waistcoats and vibes, he has implemented a few different systems. Like, he has so it's going to be peak for like you said, about half of that list. But it's the nature of the game, man. That's what you get paid for. We've got to pick the right players.
Yeah. Who's let's go through the first four. Was it who? I thought like there's someone you mentioned.
Yeah.
Go on, who's the first?
I said Mount, Maddison, Sancho.
No, keep going.
I'll run through it again. Just someone to start. Mount, Maddison, Foden, Eze.
Eze. All right, that's it. That's what I wanted to talk about.
Yeah.
So
we love this guy. Yeah? We probably love this guy.
I swear to God, I watched him against Leeds, and I didn't have the greatest game, which was disappointing. But do you know what? And I said it before. I think I've said it on the show. I might have just said it to you in person. I'm not sure. But the comparisons with the only player I can think of that like he plays similar to, with a lot less flair, is Neymar. The way like his body.
He's just mad elegant.
He's always on his toes. It seems like he's like almost a karate player, a karate fighter, just like bouncing forwards and backs. And he just changes direction, drops the shoulder, and he's effortless. And I don't maybe think that this. I don't think he's an outside. It might be a little bit too soon.
Yeah.
An outside shout for the Euros, but World Cup. I think he's got by that point. I think he would have taken his game to another level.
Also, if he went, no one's gonna be like, "Raw, what the fuck's this guy doing here?" Like, you'd be like, "Cool, he's had a good season. Like, he's coming to form." But like, you see, when you send someone to the shops and they go sliding on the arse, like flipping it off the pitch. I feel like he's always doing that, but in like a small amount. Like, he's always kind of sending the defender like a little bit of a wrong way, dropping a little shoulder.
Dummies left, right, and centre.
He won't send you to the shops. He'll send you just like downstairs to get him a drink. Like, he'll send you like halfway, and then he'll be gone, and then. There was one finish this season where he just like stroked it in the back of the net. from like 25 yards out, and it's
Bruv,
like
he
a
should have
sneaker
a
shot. The way it
partnership.
went in, like,
He just passed it in, yeah. He should have a
he's
partnership with Mother Care, the
different.
way he's selling
He's
dummies. Do you know what I
he's
mean?
different. He's different. Man
Like,
said Mother Care.
genuinely, bruv, you should do like a brand partnership with them because I'm selling left
Yeah,
dummies left, right, and
he's
centre.
sick. He's sick. He's sick.
But yeah, I think Ishmael, do you know what? Because there's so many players, we've listed them all, and those are all players that have merits
Yeah.
of starting and not starting, but going to the Euros for sure. Who would you pick if you got to pick two players in each position? Got to have a left winger, right winger, cam, and striker. Who are those two players? Because I think the follow up to this.
So I knew it was going to get to
is
this,
we
but
pick our
I can't
squad.
still.
We pick our
Yeah,
25-man squad,
yeah.
and then we submit it and we debate it. But who are yours? I mean, you don't have to stick to these, but like if you had to pick him right now without any more
My
consideration.
front four, then two in each position.
Yeah.
All right. Boom. Okay. I'll do the easy one. No, literally none of them are easy. Centre forwards,
Yeah.
Kane, and I'm gonna go for. It's got to be DCL, man.
Yeah, I was
It's got
about
to
to
be
say, I was
DCL.
like, what is he thinking about it this long? Is it Ings, Bamford?
No, because like with DCL, him and his and Kane's game. Well, not this season, but Kane a few years ago. It's a kind of similar sort of game. I don't want to compare them too much like that, but they're both foxes in the boxes. They're both physically. They got good physical presence. So I was thinking I want something a little bit different. Obviously, Bamford's got that presence as well, but he's a bit more techy with it. Obviously, he's in left foot gang as well. So
He's had a good start.
but
He's had a
then
good season,
Ings, yeah, for me, he's not quite at that quality where I think he's going to be knocking on the door. Or if Kane got injured, which he could do, he's not. If I wouldn't want to see him being brought on. Put it that way. Then I thought Ings as well. He's shown that he made the move away from us, man, and then he's still bagging goals. But it's just his injuries. If Kane gets injured in the tournament, and if he's the one we've got to rely on to play 4 or 5 games, so I'm gonna go DCL. Yeah, I'm going DCL Kane, and then right wing, mate, Sancho, who I think is should be our starting right winger. And then I'm gonna go for Marcus Rashford. Now I know he's obviously he operates better on the right, but on the left, sorry. But if I'm doing it as I'm gonna pick two players in each position,
I can tell what you're doing already.
no, I'm gonna pick him there. I'm gonna pick him there.
Yeah, but I know you're putting on the left-hand side. That's the Southgate move, man. I know it. Go on, say your left wingers then. Sterling and.
One second. And I'm back for part 3. Sorry, technical difficulty there. Right wingers,
So
left
Sterling
wingers. I'm
and
gonna go for
Sterling and.
Bruv. You know what? I'm putting Rashford back to the left wing, and right wingers. I'm going Sancho and Foden.
Okay, yeah, that works. That works. I mean, it's more just a signal of intent of where you're going to be playing this.
Yeah.
I think if you're putting Jack Grealish on the left, because I know what you're thinking. I'm in your head.
No.
But Foden off the right makes more sense, and I'm happy you said that.
Foden and Sancho off the right. You've got two different players who can play in that position as well.
Audio's just gone a bit dodgy. I don't know if you're speaking too loudly. Go on, sorry.
How's that? What's that saying? Is that good?
Yeah, it's good. It's good.
So, you got two different players in there. Sancho just straight up winger. He'll just put a man on toast, go past 2-3 man. He's got pace as well. Foden a bit more techie, can cut inside onto that left foot. I had a bit of a mini.
Good. It's good. It's important you think about things.
Thank you for making me talk through it. This guy, bro, Grealish is still the best player in the league. Let me just rectify.
I like that though, because then the cams that I'm excited by.
So I'll do cams then. Jack Grealish, James Maddison. That's it.
Ooh,
done.
That's an elite 8. That 8 is
proper
elite.
cams as well. Proper
That's
cams.
elite.
Number
That's
8.
elite.
Can both players the 8 as well. Like that's
Yeah.
I'm happy to play either or. If he puts them both in the squad and he plays Madison in some games, Grealish in others, I'm not really like. It's not one of them
And you've
ones where I'm
got
going to be like, what are you doing?
and if you're playing Mount central midfield, depends if we move that into a three in midfield. You got one pivot. Mount can play there alongside one of their cams, which I think is really good. Now moving on to just quickly because I think that's pretty much the same as mine. That's in terms of those
Yeah, yeah.
players and those
Wait, did I do
positions.
left wing? The left wing's
Yeah,
easy,
yeah.
innit? Sterling Rashford.
Sterling, Rashford, yeah, yeah. Now, tell me, Ishmael, who are the players that could, if they continue their form this season, can find their way on the plane to the Euros? I'll kick you off with one, Harvey Barnes.
Say his name properly, mate. Say his name properly.
What did I say?
No, no.
Harvey
Harvey.
Barnes.
No, it's the video. It's the. You
Harvey
not seen that commentary? Yeah.
Barnes.
and it's Harvey
I thought you
Barnes.
wanted my Brummie accent.
No,
I've been watching Peaky Blinders. But
Oh yeah, we that's
quite
a
late yet.
off camera recommendation from Mouse. So
I mean, it's not a recommendation. It's been out for ages, but
it's been out for a minute actually. If you haven't seen it, you're late. I.e.
it's
me.
a bit late to it.
But players like Hudson-Odoi's got a chance, man. Cho, if he, I feel like on the wings, he's like, what's the phrase? He's like first in command if there's any sort of injury.
Understudy.
Understudy. He's the understudy because
He's not
obviously you got.
overstudy.
He's
Overstand.
just studying.
Only people
He's
think
just
when they're like, "Look,
studying.
you better overstand what I'm saying right now." It's like, bro, just say understand.
I've literally never said I've never heard anyone say that before.
Never. Bro, people used to do that. Like, I feel like rappers back in the day, like woke rappers, used to do like
Woke
they love
rap's
to
like my
understand.
least. It's like my least favorite strand of rap, where it's like proper.
Kendrick's
You need to go. You need to go to school. Yeah,
We'll save
no,
that
for
for
me,
Wait the
I'm
Wonder,
not
man.
talking Kendrick. Kendrick's different.
He's gone. J. Cole as
Stratosphere.
well.
Yeah, but
Schoolboy
when it's like
Q.
no, but when it's like the lower the league ones of the woke rappers, it's all like fucking you must do your homework. Yeah. It's not why I turn to the genre of music. But anyway,
Go on, yeah, so
yeah, for
Harvey
me,
Barnes, understudy.
Cho Barnes, like first in command. Greenwood as well, man.
Saka,
He's young in it.
famous Saka.
He's young. So I don't. If Greenwood doesn't make the squad, obviously, I don't know
I
about
think
you,
he's gonna
but
miss out, unfortunately.
I won't be too heartbroken. It's not like if say Grealish doesn't make the squad, you're like, this my man's approaching his peak years. Like it's but Greenwood can still progress well. Obviously,
The Euros were last season, I reckon he goes, but this season he hasn't really kicked on in the same way. Still got a good second. He's got the second half of the season to continue, but I feel like he's been like the sacrificial lamb in the whole Foden Greenwood incident. It feels like that whole.
which is mad
Arsenal
because now
debacle.
Foden's shining bright. He's like
Yeah. So what happens, man? The media can. That's what happens, and people
listen,
say,
when
look,
you fit a
adjust these
certain
articles.
when you fit a certain agenda, then
Yeah, big time.
it's different. But yeah, if you know, you know.
So anyone else? Any possible shouts? I mean, we've already spoken about Bamford, Ings, but are there any players?
For me, yeah, the reason
Tammy
why-
Abraham is he on the? Is he ahead of Bamford, or is Bamford ahead of him now?
Listen, I like Tammy in it. Like he seems like a cool dude, but yeah,
He's on all of the
As a-
advertising stuff for England for the Euros.
yeah, bruv, adverts can change it. Like they change the kit pretty much every 6 to
Photoshop's
9
very
months.
easy
So
these
like,
days,
bruv, it's fine. You know how these people like to move anyway. They'll probably put Saka's face on Tammy Abraham's body. And you'd be like, why is Saka looking like he's 6'3"?
Wan
But
and skinny.
oh, flip. But yeah, for me now, just looking at the strikers, we didn't even include Tammy's name in the centre forwards. So he's already behind Kane, DCL, Ings, Bamford, and two of them aren't making it. So he definitely shouldn't be in them convos like that. But
Speaking of outside shouts, yeah, let's go real outside. How many goals? Tell me. How? Because he's got off to a great start. But how many goals does Jesse Lingard need to get to be considered at the Euros? That's what I want to know.
listen, yeah, he's got his advantage that he's played under Gareth at a tournament before. I remember that
big
goal he
game
scored at
player
the
as
World
well.
Cup.
Big
That goal
game
he scored
player.
against Panama in the World Cup. Obviously, I know we're playing like flipping part-time chefs or whatever,
Beautiful.
but it's World Cup in it. Like we all got gassed. All got gassed. That was actually one of the only goals he scored from flipping open play.
Yeah. A lot of
Bare
them came
penalties
from
and
corners, didn't we?
bare penalties and corners. Yeah,
Corners,
yeah.
yeah.
So Jesse's like he's got that.
If he
He's
hits
got
10
experience
goals,
in
8
it.
assists, I reckon he's got a chance. If he has to get 10 goals, he's on 2.
Where's he? Is he playing? Where's he playing? And is he playing off the
He's playing in the
right?
forward positions of Cam. He can play, yeah. I don't know. I think it's a very outside shout. Very, very outside. I wouldn't put money on it, basically.
I'm gonna follow your outside chance with another one. If obviously it's harder to say because this Don's not played for like I can't even remember when. But if Dele Alli strings together like
Yeah, bloody, I was talking to him
Bro,
about that.
listen,
Jesse
man,
Lingard and
like,
Dele Alli. Imagine us saying this after the World Cup that they'd not even be in contention, reaching the peak.
like
years.
not even
Me and
near.
Jesse,
They're not even playing for their clubs. Like Dele's a bit. I feel it's peak, man. Because how old is he now? Like 24. Because
around that,
he bust
24.
on the scene like he bust on the scene at like 18, and he was tearing up. Do you remember that goal against Palace? Where he flicked it over Mama's head to volleyed it. Yeah. So he's Jose, man. This is what Jose flipping stunts career is like.
The scourge of Jose. That's what he's suffering at the moment.
Luke Shaw shining now. Rashford shining. Martial was shining last season. Like these are all guys. Pogba shining. These are all guys who you thought their Man United career was hanging by a thread. Take Jose out. Cool. Done. All good.
See, I feel like Dele's got less of a chance to get into the Euros just because I don't see him getting the games.
If he got that move to PSG, then I think we're
So
having a
sad it
different
didn't
story.
get to happen, 'cause I feel like that would have been a great move.
Poch
Great move
reunion,
for
like
Dele.
he's getting a love. He's kicking ball with Mbappe and Neymar. Like, not many players can say it. Not many players can say that they've been able to do that in like a forward position as well, where he's linking up with Neymar, popping it to Mbappe. Like,
He's that sort of player though. He needs to be around players that bit of creativity. Especially where players who are gonna just drag a defender away, give him some extra time. Do so well in those in those sorts of teams, but
not in Jose's flipping like.
No, to be honest, I just
regimented
don't see him.
football. Like, yeah.
Dele and Jesse. I mean, realistically, they're not going. Jesse's got a chance. I feel like Dele has no chance whatsoever. But it's weird. Yeah, I think looking back to the last
Vince
tournament,
McMahon settings, no chance. If you know, you know.
No chance.
So that's what you got. Wait, top 5. I'm telling you now, top 5 WWE
Liverpool?
entrances of all time.
Oh,
No.
We were going. Is that foot? That's your new target.
Top
But yeah,
5,
on that
top
note,
5.
that note, we're gonna wrap this one up.
Swear to God.
I feel like the next sort of the natural progression to this series is we've got to go back to the drawing board, draw up our 25-man list, or it might be a bit less than that. I'm not sure. I'll double check, but draw up our list.
You get 23 or something.
And then we compare and contrast, and then I don't know who decides. Maybe you guys in the comments can let us know who had the better team. We'll pop it on our Instas as well. But yeah, thanks again, guys, for checking it out.
Do you know what I'm really looking for? Do you know what I'm most glad about that list?
Go on.
You can't fucking shoehorn Bruno into it because he don't play for England. But
bruv, trust me.
just wanted to get that. You'll try. I will find a way.
Believe I'm trying.
Nah, if he joins the coaching staff, if he joins the coaching staff, then he will get more penalties. So we should just keep it.
I want to try and find a twin whose identity he can still. I don't know, someone who looks like him. Any doppelgangers, English people who looks like Bruno Fernandes, get in touch.
That face is hella unique. They'll just leave it at that.
This is a serious face as well, bro. Anyway, yeah, thank you guys for watching. Make sure you like and subscribe if you enjoyed the content. And then yeah, we'll be back for another one soon. But yeah, in the meantime, enjoy
comments as well. Comments.
Enjoy the break. For Liverpool fans out there, enjoy the break and not playing football. United fans, hope you enjoyed the win and the thrill of playing football yesterday, getting that 1-0 win against West Ham.
The deadest game for a minute. Well, just quickly before we go, actually, serious note. R.I.P. Klopp's mum, who passed away back in Jan.
Elizabeth.
We found out about it. Yeah. Only found out about it today.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, that brother.
He's a human at the end of the day. All man. He gets put to the side.
No one.
Imagine losing your mum. I wouldn't want to dream about that, to be honest.
Can't even go back to Germany or anything. So yeah.
Say goodbye.
R.I.P. Klopp's mum.
Elizabeth Klopp, I think it's called. She's called.
Hope you're. I can't even say feeling better, but Yeah, sending love to Klopp, man.
Yeah, nice touch, Ishmael.
Bruv, yeah, it was nice for us to finally do a video where we semi-agree
Bro, it got ugly.
half
Do
of
you
the
remember that
time.
Jordan Henderson
Yeah.
Maguire? Woo! Anyway, guys, yeah, look, that's enough rambling
Man,
on
peace
now.
out, peace
But
out,
yeah,
peace
peace
out.
out. Enjoy the content, like and subscribe, all that good stuff. Peace.